I need to talk about a post I saw the other day. The picture basically said, I hate it when people who have no baseline knowledge of a subject debate me on something that I've studied or have extensive knowledge on. I understand the sentiment. It is incredibly frustrating when someone has no idea what they're talking about and they're adamant about their side. But this leads me to one of my biggest frustrations. The mentality of, you don't do it, therefore you don't get an opinion. I hate this mentality, and I see it everywhere. One of my favorite things is professional wrestling. I'm a huge fan. But professional wrestlers are some of the worst for this way of thinking. There is so much bitching and whining and moaning about the fans or magazine writers. For people who do one of the most physically demanding forms of entertainment, a lot of them sure are thin-skinned. So much of it comes down to, you've never had a match, you've never taken a slam, what do you know? I'm not going to say that a fan knows more than someone who's done the craft. That's absolutely not true. But a fan's opinion is still valid. And this applies to all topics. Yes, 9 times out of 10, I am not going to debate someone on a subject they've studied for years. Me being me, I usually stick to my lane and listen to what they have to say. But does that mean that person is right about this topic 100% of the time? I've been very lucky and very blessed in my experience with doctors. The doc tells me to do something, I say sure thing, it's always gone well. But I have heard countless stories of patients telling the doctor one thing, the doctor ignoring it, and the patient being right. Again, someone who's studied medicine for 10 years is usually going to be right and know what they're talking about. But when something's wrong with our bodies, we usually know. And you don't have to have an MD to feel that something is off. I have too many stories to pick from on this topic, but one that stands out to me is there was once a woman who visited a doctor and was telling her, hey, something's wrong with me. I know something's wrong. I feel fucking horrible. And he said, there's nothing wrong with you. Just go home. You're fine, blah, blah, blah. And then she had an ovarian cyst rupture. Whoopsie. I've mentioned in a few videos that I'm a stand-up comedian. I've been doing it for 6 years in multiple cities, in multiple provinces, and how I started was I actually took a course called Stand and Deliver. So yes, I've literally studied comedy. However, if I have a bad show, I'm not just going to blame the fans and say, you've never done comedy. You don't understand this. I've studied it. You've never told a joke before. You've never done a set. Your opinion's invalid. No. If I bomb, it's because I fucking sucked and I wasn't funny. You don't have to do a comedy set to have an opinion on that. And there's endless examples. Movies, music, sports, TV. It can go on forever. And the reason I hate this mentality is it basically tells you you can't have an opinion on most things. Because there is way more things that we are not than we are. I'm not a musician, I'm not an actor, I'm not an athlete, I'm not a doctor, I'm not an engineer, I'm not a teacher, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a painter, I'm not a sculptor, I'm not a dancer. So therefore, I can have an opinion on none of these things. Absolutely none, because I don't do them. Do you see how silly and plain and boring and vanilla the world would be if we all weren't allowed to talk about something unless we partook in it? I've said my piece. But allow me to paraphrase the brilliant Steve Hofstetter, because he can sum it up better than anyone. I'm not a pilot. I don't fly airplanes. But if I see a helicopter in a tree, I can at least tell you, dude fucked up. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you have not already. Leave a comment and leave a like. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at TransandTrav, my Facebook and YouTube at Travis Boyce. And if you love this video, share it. And if you hate this video, share it so you and your friends can make fun of it. Take care. Oh, what's that? You hate this video? You're not a YouTuber. What do you know?